former U.S. President and Republican candidate Donald Trump has been declared the official winner of the U.S. election. The Associated Press called Trump's victory after he won the key battleground state of Wisconsin, putting him over the necessary 270 electoral votes threshold. Even before that, Trump addressed supporters in West Palm Beach, Florida, promising a new golden age for America. He called on the country to unite and said he would put America first. Trump also hailed the Republican Party's success in the Senate, where it gained a majority. Throughout the night, jubilant Trump supporters took to the streets to celebrate. For more, let's go across to DW's Washington Bureau Chief, Ines Paul. Ines, what a long night and a long day it's been for you. What is your take on election night?
Well, that's a huge victory for Donald Trump. He did not only kind of clear big states easily. He won probably also the popular vote. His party won the Senate, which is extremely important for him because this allows him to stack his government with loyalists, who would do everything for him. It's very likely now that he, for example, pardons the January 6 rioters. He basically has a lot of power now in his hands. And this comes, I think, for many, many observers and also many Americans as a surprise. Everybody was talking since months that this will be a razor-thin outcome and that it might take days before we will know who the president is. And here we are, only a few hours in the new day, and the United States and the rest of the world knows that Donald Trump won back the White House.
Well, it's been a remarkable comeback for Trump, retaking the White House 4 years after losing the presidency in 2020. This time he becomes America's president-elect as a convicted felon with far-reaching plans for America and the world.
Donald Trump's first term in office ended in acrimony. His departure marred by claims of a stolen election and allegations that he stirred up an insurrection.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
The violence that followed as rioters rampaged through the US Capitol still divides America and sits at the heart of a federal case against Trump, who stands accused of illegally trying to overthrow the 2020 election result. One of 4 criminal cases still hanging over America's new president-elect as he heads back into the White House.
Particularly in the 2 federal cases, the idea would be that he would immediately, and he's announced that he would take action immediately upon being returned to the office of the president. So in January 2025, dismiss the special prosecutor, particularly in the January 6th case, so Jack Smith, basically make these cases null and void, make them go away.
Trump has threatened to use the military against his political opponents, those he calls the enemy within, but claims he'll be a dictator only on day 1 of his second presidency, dismissing allegations from critics that he'll be an authoritarian American leader.
So you say, he's Hitler. And then they say, he's a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. I'm the opposite of a Nazi. I don't know.
On the foreign front, he's vowed to build a lasting peace in the Middle East, describing himself as Israel's protector, and has even boasted of being able to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
We have a very good relationship, and I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin, and I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly.
While back at home, he's repeatedly told his supporters that he'll bring down prices and oversee a new economic boom in America, slashing taxes and energy costs and slapping huge tariffs on foreign imports.
We will rapidly defeat inflation, and we will very simply make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable.
And when it comes to the southern border with Mexico and the issue of immigration, he's pledged to finish his wall and do this.
Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. Forget America.
And then there's some unfinished business for Trump from his last term in office, something known as Schedule F.
What a Donald Trump administration in its second incarnation would like to do is to really change into the depth of almost all American administrative organizations, the functionality of it, the functionality of American bureaucratic expertise, and to fill that with ideologues. Why? Because in the first Trump administration, he felt, and his advisors felt, that a number of the policy initiatives and decisions he took weren't executed with the speed and acuity that he would have wanted.
And that brings us to Project 2025, a 900-page manifesto from the US conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, headlined by its authors, some of whom used to work for Trump, as a blueprint for the next Republican president. It's been described by critics as a threat to democracy. And Donald Trump and his campaign have repeatedly tried to distance themselves from it.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project... And then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it.
But despite the denials, there appears to be overlap between Trump's official plans and the radical policy wish list. In it are proposals for mass deportations and the overhaul of the Justice Department, as well as the rollback of LGBTQ rights and climate legislation. The Democrats claim Trump will implement the ultra-conservative plan as president. We'll find out if he does after he's sworn in come January.